Hello, ladies and gentlemen over there. Thank you for sparing time once again for our show, the Benjamin Zulu Show. I hope you are well. As we are beginning this show, by the way, first of all, I have to appreciate for all that you are doing. And now, today is that day where we are diving into an issue where most of us miss it in life. Some of us are feeling that we are lacking behind. So, we are tempted to actually feel that we need to go back to the things that we missed out then. All right. Why am I saying that, ladies and gentlemen? Now, listen to this lady over here who says, "Hi, Zulu. I am 25 years old who decided years back to focus on my personal growth. I kept off relationships in campus and chose to spend time learning more about personal growth instead. I started working online, but it never peaked. After my graduation, I tried looking for formal jobs to no avail. I, however, have been trying online work, but still no progress. My frustrations now is that I feel lost. After the things I had to forego for a better future, nothing seems to be forthcoming. I remember having sleepless nights, trying out stuff, but nothing yet. I have lost lots of money in some of the ventures I tried. Sometimes I feel like I should have just eaten, quote unquote, eaten life back then. After all, I see no difference. It's been years of sacrifice with no gains. I'm tired, and at this age, now I'm tempted to give up and do what I missed out on back then. Sacrifice or no sacrifice, there is no difference." That is what this 25 years old is saying. Now, listen to Benjamin's reply. I love it, by the way. You're going to love it. Benjamin replied by saying, "You are only 25 years. You are only 25. Which years have you wasted? Acha jokes nani, you are too green. If you want to quit and go around misbehaving, feel free. Then you will know what misery is." Ladies and gentlemen, what do you do when you feel stuck? When you feel you have wasted life? What do you do? Hey, Benjamin.
You know. And that is only one. I can count for you cases upon cases. So today I want to discuss that sense of being stuck, or being shortchanged, or having waited and it doesn't pay, having delayed and having worked up and doesn't pay. And so we have about 4 categories of where the sources of this feeling. The first source is the obvious one. It comes from immaturity, naivety about life, greenness, plain childish thinking. This girl has done the right things for some 5 years maybe during campus, and it was quite a sacrifice. We are not underestimating how much emotional energy it takes to take another path when other people are indulging around you. We are not here to underestimate that. We have gone through that system, and we know how much it is to energetically keep saying no, keep hearing ridicules, keep choosing a path that looks boring and dull. We are not underestimating that. So, but the problem is, these young people are expecting somebody to come and clap for them when they have done the right things. They're expecting some cheers and a standing ovation at the end. They're expecting to be offered a job quickly, to be given a reward for having lived the right life in campus. Brahma, let's remind people, she thinks there were people who are enjoying life. Let's repeat telling people that there's a difference between enjoying your youth and ruining your future. Those people are not eating life. They're not enjoying life. They were digging pitfalls. They were creating complications and emotional attachments which they will struggle with, which will deteriorate the emotional makeup, which will complicate their life for days to come. Any sexual involvement, drugs involvement, partying, any reckless behavior has, especially 18 to 24. Remember, it's the most prime years for differentiating yourself. Many of them would have been great people, but they ended up being mediocre people. Many of them would have been masters of their craft. They ended up being average workers. Many of them had the potential to stand out in their era, in their generation. They will never stand out because the years of planting, they spent it plundering, moving around, They were not focused on personal development. What she's calling eating life, enjoying life, the clubbing, I missed the life, the fun, I missed the boyfriend, the girlfriend, I missed the night out, I missed the raving, I missed the dancing, I missed. Those are the things she's talking about. There's nothing special with campus. There's nothing new on earth. They just keep on inventing new ways of using the same things. Another machine called shisha for smoking. It's the same tobacco. It's just now a machine of putting flavors.
Yes.
Putting a flavor here, a lemon flavor, orange flavor for tobacco, okay? Please, do not be intimidated by the young, thinking now they have advanced. Human beings are never that different. Just remember that. They are never that different. Our bodies are identical. And sins are the same. In fact, the Bible says there's nothing new. The devil has nothing new.
Yeah.
So what she's calling a miss out, she's misinterpreting it because of her greenness and naivety. Remind young people that life itself, development, success is slow. There's no excitement. The only fast-paced thing is the entertainment. They're going for clubs and whatever, which seems fast and fun, quick, but it's very destructive. It actually prepares you, takes away your patience, takes away your ability to wait for things to mature and fruit. So the depression and the stress and the exasperation and desperation you are hearing these young people is coming from misconception. She has done the right things and she needs to be patient until it pays off. She has also experimented with life. She has tried businesses, tried this job. Those things did not fail. Those are experiences.
Yeah.
Thomas Edison was asked what made him endure 1,000 failed attempts until he could invent the electric bulb. And he said, I did not fail 1,000 times. The electric bulb required 1,000 steps to come to it. The steps are failures. Can you see the interpretation?
Yeah.
Look at the difference. Bramwell, how many career attempts have you done which were flat failed? They failed flat. I understand you try to be a teacher. At some point. In some of our talks, you do not tell me not to say so. Bramwell has been a teacher. So in terms of Bramwell's teaching, it's an F. The career never took off. Maybe the people he taught, he enjoyed it for that moment, they enjoyed his job, but his heart was not there.
Yeah.
Would you say, man, I think I'm such a terrible failure? Imagine is that. Would you call it a failure?
No.
It was a step to come here.
Yeah.
Everything you attempted, you tried online, tried this, it was telling you where you don't belong. Tell this girl to sit down and enumerate the lessons from every attempt. Some were telling her where her heart is not. Some were, in any case, they kept you busy during at a time when you'd have had you'd have gone out there and contracted STIs.
Yeah.
Time you'd have gone out there and created entanglements that you'd be struggling. At a time when you'd have started addiction with alcohol. At a time when you'd have started attachments and abortions and miscarriages and pregnancies. Even if the attempt did not go far, it gave you that the culture of attempting things. Even if it go the effort. Sometimes Ramal is not even the success of the launching of the project. It's that energy to attempt it.
Yeah.
That is what counts. The guys ran and one guy came last. The rest of you are not running. You're out there in the field. What more authority do you have to criticize the guy who ran? The guy who had the courage to be on the tracks. Yeah. And you don't even have the outfit for running. The guy who attempted running is way far ahead than the spectators. Yeah. Okay? So she attempted things, and the way we attempted things ourselves, the number of things we attempted Bramwell, only that we don't broadcast them, but she's on track. Yeah. Flip your mind and tell yourself, at least I've reached here safe. Okay? Yeah. If you reach 25 in one piece, that's a win. If you arrive there in one piece, you are not all over there. Child there, an attachment there, boyfriend there, pregnancy there, addiction here, alcohol there, terrible memories there, trauma there. You came here in one piece. What are you crying about? So this is pure naivety. So many people are crying that I feel stuck and they're 26, they're 28, they're 24, they're 23. It's because they are green about life. Their expectations are misplaced. We are done with that group. Those are children, grow up. Number 2. There's another group that feels stuck, and you're 32, you're 29, you're 35. I'm going to give you 4 sources of frustrations and their solutions. And all those who are saying, I feel stuck, I'm not moving, my life is, I'm not moving. So the second group is a group that is genuinely stagnated. For the last 5 years, no significant progress. She tells me I'm 30 and I can't see any movement. You know, I look back and I'm basically doing the same job I was doing, being paid the pennies I used to be paid, being alone as I was alone, feeling the same, dealing the same emotions of being behind. And, you know, occupying a small space. Life has space. The people occupy broad space, other small space. The idea of growth is to expand where you're standing, to expand your space, to live large. So the opposite of large is what? Narrow. So she's living a narrow. So she's feeling bottled, and could even be a guy who's telling me, man, what's wrong? I'm 29. I've had this a lot. I'm 32. I thought I should be somewhere now by this point. Man, looking back, there is no change. So there are people who are feeling stagnated because genuinely there is no step forward. They have not achieved any promotion in their career or advancement in their jobs. They have not achieved any milestone, development or milestone. They have not achieved any. And when it reaches this point, when people start giving you weird excuse, you seem lost or solutions. You seem lost, get a job, get married. Hey. So this group that has not experienced growth for any 5 years or even 10 years, it's what they're doing something wrong. They positioned their career facing a direction they're not interested in. Please listen to this. You can only excel in something you genuinely love for its own sake, not for the money. We need money, but if you work because of money, you won't move. The first reason, they're lost for many reasons. These people are genuinely stuck. Many of them are trying to exert themselves on their left hand or on their less dominant hand, on the side that is not energetic for them. They know their career in their head, but it's not in their heart. They studied something that is not in them. Sometimes they get that sense that they would have done better in another career in something. Sometimes something clicks in them. Something they do by the side, what gets their juices running. Something they touch by the side, and it gets them imagining and alive. But they remind themselves, now, this is a job that pays my bills. Forget about it. Let's just work hard. Oh, the world is like that. Nothing is perfect. You just have to put your effort. They buy into that philosophy. So it could be stuck because you're spending. Remember, let's remind people that you don't spend most of your time with your partner. You spend most of your time with your job. You are waking hours with your job. Job releases you to go and sleep. Then come back tomorrow. Basically. Your job wants you when you are awake and active. When you get tired and sleepy. When you're energetic and awake, come back. So, we are saying this because the people worship marriages and relationships, thinking that's where life is centered on. That is companionship to journey through life. But the economy of our day demands for you to earn a living. And to earn a living, you use your waking hours to work. And it's okay, you're also changing humanity with your life. But we're saying, don't just think of relationships. The job you choose will affect your life in a very central way because you spend a lot of your waking time there. Your partner will also affect your life a lot because they're emotionally in each other's heart, in each other's life. So these two things matter. We are saying this so that people pay as much attention as they pay in choosing a partner to choose careers with the same carefulness and attentiveness. Because your career will affect you because that's where you are spending most of your time in. Of course, the idea is to grow and gain back your freedom by expanding your sources of income and your levels of competency to regain freedom. But before you regain the freedom, you have to go through the system. All right? So we are saying you could be stuck because you're in a career you don't like. And it has sapped your energy and made you bored. And your life is just flat. This can happen slowly and quietly until people think you're a reserved and laid-back person. But you remember a time you used to be vibrant, energetic. Some people are not introverts or reserved or quiet. They're just misplaced. They're in a place where they're being locked by bills. They have bills to pay. They have reached a place where they have to work. But their energy is not excited by this job. Mostly people who had the curses of getting super grades. Super grades are very confusing. When you get A's, all courses are possible. Yeah. Anything is inviting you. So you don't end up choosing what was in your heart. You choose what is lucrative.
Yeah.
You choose what your parents are rooting for. You choose what your influencers are rooting for. A person who got a C plus, a B, the options are fewer. They are more likely, if they are attentive, to have fewer choices. They are likely to end up where their heart is, if they are attentive. But even they, if they have insecurity issues, thinking, no, I have a B, I can't do medicine, no, I can't do, it means, no, those guys are luckier more than me. We don't have a course that is lucky. In Kenya, they don't teach life coaching, and that's what I live by, my friend. The course I'm eating is not taught in. Can you imagine? And I've been to around 3 degrees, so you can imagine. I'm trying to improvise. What I learned there. These courses were not invented with you in mind. They were invented with economy in mind, with money in mind, with finances in mind, groupings in mind. They were not designed for you. Don't get attached too much to engineering and IT. It was not designed for you. Remember, you have a uniqueness these courses can't capture. Be free to keep adjusting and flexing and picking a piece here and attaching the another and grafting until you find your unique fit. Career is a matter of making, shaping. Don't be stuck with the degree you studied. Shape it. Change it. One girl made us happy. She just popped up and gave me a portrait. You know, and she draws, but she says she studied architecture. She said, I wanted to make a gift to her. I said, is this your job? No, I studied architecture, but while I do that, it's also drawing. I like it, but it comes once in a while. Most of my day, I do artistic, fine art, drawing people, portraits, making. What is she doing? She's shaping her career. Yeah. She trained this way. Said, okay, but I also have gifts here. I can match. So she has made a mix. She has blended. Remind people to blend and custom make the shape of their careers. You could be stuck for the last 5-10 years because you're in a place which does not excite your energy. You could also be stuck because, this is very common, you hooked up with a person. This can be friend, close friend. Close friends are very influential. In fact, their influence is not discussed enough because people don't understand how the person you talk to every day, and it could be a guy like you, be some boys like you, but they are not progressive. They are not progressive. You could be stuck because the guys you are hanging around are not progressive and they are comfortable that way. Only when you reflect back, you wonder, how come I have not made any progress? Especially when you meet other people who tell you what they have done. The plots, the properties, the houses are built, the families have started, the cars, the investment. Okay, we were in school, these guys, what happened with me? But every weekend you're in Naivasha drinking. Your money is going to drinking. Yeah. All the thinking time is going to drinking. All the time that you could have been imagining and creating things is in partying or watching movies or gambling. The people are into football so much that all their evenings and times are spent discussing football. And they're so much into it. It's okay to be interested in games if they're only a pastime, something leisure, something to bring you fun once in a while. It's as if to break breaks, take breaks, but it's not all. Do you know that people talk about football even at their office? They're still arguing about clubs. Yeah. During work time, their mind is still on football. When off work, they're still on football. So over years, there's a years go by, and they're into betting. So their money and their thoughts and their energy. Brahma, it is those small things that amount to life. So you could be stuck because your circles does not push you to move forward, and they are comfortable in being stagnated. What is the solution? The solution is to change. Just examine why you're stuck. I don't like this career. Change to another one. What is the solution? You realize I'm hanging around with guys who don't push me forward. You need people who are visionaries, who are winners, who are restless, who keep moving. Brahma, you don't need a group. You don't need a group. Once you realize you're in a group that is not restless like you don't need to tell them off. Simply stop being available. You don't need to dismiss them or argue with anybody. Just need to tell them, it's okay, I understand, and stop showing up. That's their life. Even if you came from primary school together, that is their life. Yeah. The other group that is stagnating, they tell you they have stuck, is when they themselves. A lady wrote me like this, that something discussed on Facebook, that she's, I think, around 27. She's pursuing a master's. She can see in her life there's progress, but there's so much noise from outsiders that she should have been married by now. All her friends are married. And our parents are feeling frustrated and disappointed that all your colleagues have gotten married. You know, your parents tell you indirectly.
Yeah.
Your friend is getting married. Your friend has a child. Your friend has this and that. So she's feeling pressured and being blamed as if she's late. So the third category of people who feel stuck is when you yourself, you can see you're making steps. You had planned to do a master's, you're doing it. You had planned to do this, you're doing it. Bramwell, let me also mention something. Some people are very academically astute. They continue studying. But relationship, they are very dull. I can't add up these things. I was talking with one of them. I was saying, are you the same person? Is this one person? Because on one end, she's registering for PhD. She's done her master's. And she went ahead in life. You could see how she has done young. You know, you can see she's done masters. By the time she's 25, she's done with her masters. But alongside, she started cohabiting with that guy, got pregnant with that guy. Then later he disappeared. Now gave birth to a child. The child has a special condition. Now her life has been drawn into managing a crisis that is going to last years. Getting child with a person who is not even permanent in your life. You still starting to sleep with a fella, get pregnant, start rushing around, realize he's not even who you thought. You're not even landing him. Now there's another problem here, and the guy who has abandoned you, like this. And just like that, life scattered. What are we talking about? What is happening there? On the one end, you're very diligent to build. On the other end, you're very reckless. Man, I don't get it. What are we teaching them in the university? If they can study to the pinnacle and they're still making stupid blunders, what are they learning? I don't get it, man. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. But I know why. The more they climb, the more they're being told, if you continue studying like that, you'll not find a man. Yeah. So the pressure from outsiders telling you you're becoming unmarriageable. You're becoming too successful for anyone. And Brahma, I told you, the more you become known and you thrive in your career, you may develop the same fear. That people, will people ever see me as a potential? You don't realize it when you're getting known. You don't realize it when you're climbing. Yeah. For you, that's your life. Actually, you are used to just hitting the metal. You don't lift your eyes to see how far you've come. You just keep going. Keep going. You're even surprised when people recognize you around. When people, you're doing PhD, you thought that is normal for everyone. So they're being told, you're growing too old and you're climbing. And remember, Pramwell, there's no time you start calculating your steps. Although we reflect, we look back how far we have come. But you never dwell on it. Because you are engaged on a day-to-day. So this girl is climbing up there. This guy is increasing up there. But if you know there is progress and you had planned your life, I will study until this, I'll get a house faster. If you had put your milestones where you want to marry when you arrive there, in between here, all your friends might get married. The guys you came from primary school with, secondary school with, college with, and you're being told, can you see you're being left alone? That happened to me. That happened to me, my brother. Because my goals were unrealistic. I wanted to marry when I'm doing PhD. That, according to society, is unrealistic. My friend, who will you marry? People will fear you. And the degrees I was doing was also fear. People fear them. When you add the law and the psychology, lawyers are already suspected. People think when a lawyer talks, they have an angle. Try to play around with words. A psychologist. So you're reading my mind. So they had a point, by the way. My friend, even considering what you're studying, you will marry yourself. But you know what kept me on course? I said, the way I am rare, I'll find another person who has similar mindset. They may not be many, and I don't need many. Probably don't be afraid. Well, I have a good women. You don't need women. Yeah. If I ask you where are the good men, you will tell me, I'm here. The same way. Where are the good women? They are there. If you exist, your match exists. Maintain that faith. God did not make a mistake in assigning me this time and this kind of calling. Maintain that faith. So this group that feels very uncomfortable, like they are left behind because it's society telling them so, and they know there's progress. The solution is very simple. The solution is this, is that simply learn how to tune out people does not mean you isolate yourself and go to live away from people, but maintain an inner core of persuasion and remind yourself every morning, every day that I'm on course. At the right time, I'll find whom I need to find. For me, that was my solution. That was how I worked. That's why I solved it. It would have been a very nagging problem if I allowed them to get into my mind. The last group that feels desperate and delayed and late and stuck, it's a group that has remained in the same relationship for 10 years. And I have no pity for them, by the way. I've tried to look for some pity. Most people, after a breakup of a relationship that occupied their entire youth, Aki, they come to me and I can't find words to comfort them. You spent 7 years, brother, dating one girl. What are you doing? Is she your calling on earth? How much investment is that? How much investment is that? You get into a relationship when you're 24, and then you're 31, it breaks up. What is it? What is this? So people feel drawback because they actually committed an outrageous mistake. And these relationships are always sexual. You can't stay that long without investing everything. Emotional, financial. So people know you are taken. Reputation, you have been so by the time you get out of it, you don't know where you are. You are lost as if you are coming back to the world from the moon. And as we talk, there are people on another year now and counting. 4th year and counting. And they are there watching us, thinking that is an exception. Ours is special. We know our life was designed in heaven. Actually, we are meant together. I'm sure. Continue being sure. Everybody was sure. Continue. I'm also sure that you are sure and that you are surely wrong. Let me tell you, bravo. This for the group that feels drawback because actually, many times there's even a child. Many times there's even this. Long-range relationships usually die. That is their normal end. Usually die. If you date for years, you're not dating for marriage, you're dating for breakup. And if you force the marriage, it will be a struggling marriage because the connection was already dying. You rush to get married, so you avoided the laws, but you just compromised everything to get in. You are here, it is powerless, imbalanced, and chaotic, and stressful, and unstable. How many losses are those? Sit down and do your math. It's a brother-in-law I like. When we talk, when he tells me his business, he illustrates using calculators every day. He deals with glassware. He's always doing, you see, when I buy this, and he shows me. I saw how he illustrated business sense of when I buy this and I sell. I've made some profit. I'm a retailer, but if a wholesaler comes and I'm making some, why is the difference? Just sell. Make a difference. That's the money. Go buy another one. He tells me it's not about the activity in the shop. It's about the activity in the bank. Is money going? My friend, it's not the activity in the relationship now. It's the activity in your life. Are you progressing? That guy helped him. I said, this is very common sense thinking. Because other guys were holding glass. They didn't want, there's fluctuation in importation because of COVID. So people want to have a lot of stock in the shop. He did a very unusual thing. He sold everything. I told him, now you have sold. What will you sell again? He said, I'll go out there looking. I wanted money. I don't want glass. I don't eat glass. I want money. Look, I bought this way, sold this way. My friend, I have money in the account. I can move around shopping. So why keep it here? To see customers coming, you cut to one piece. You look very busy in the shop. But is the account growing? I liked that, man. Don't stay in a relationship for 7 years. Holding on to a guy for holding on to this. Are you growing? You need period for growth. And the period for growth is ready. When you are ready for marriage, go and seek a person to marry. All right? Yes.
All right. Now, Benjamin, the other thing that I've seen, right from the 25-year girl who texted you and then all that you've illustrated is the issue of timeline. You see, some of us are afraid that we are missing out on the timelines we've actually given ourselves.
Very good. Manufactured deadlines.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you say, me, I want to get married by 26, I want to have I'm married with a child. There's some people plucked at a figure from the air and they stuck to it when they were in class 8. Yeah. Okay. Brahman, some of the childhood dreams we had were only meant to make us ambitious. Who has not dreamt of becoming a surgeon? We saw Ben Carson, gifted hands. And at some point we also dreamed. Yes. And to be a surgeon. Because it was sounded like a fancy word. Something good to become. But were we wrong? Do we say we were stupid to aim that way? It is simply we were seeing far. But we are not seeing far in detail. We are too young to see detail. Some of the years you fixed it, that you want to get married by 25, get married by 30. It was good to think ahead, but you could not see everything in detail. You are too young. As you grew, you had adjusted your goals. I think I'm more of a journalist. Johnson Mwakazi said he wanted to be a teacher. When another person saw him, said, hey, you're so good, your voice is so good, you can do all the media. He said, even media is as good as teaching. What I wanted is influence and self-reliance and financial growth. That's all. He said, okay, well, as a child, what I was thinking was career, being useful to society, managing my life, making my own money. That's what I had in mind. I may not achieve it in teaching. Now I've known my gifts better. When I know better, I can do better. You wanted to get married by 26, 27, by 30. That time you did not know better, but it was good that you had aim, you could think ahead, you targeted. Now that you know better, adjust to match reality. So allow yourself to adjust childhood goals and deadlines now that you know better, without feeling like you have lost or you have changed.
Right.
Yes.
And how can you resist the urge of comparison in the process? Because again, you've highlighted that people actually feel they have lost out because they're listening to too much noise. How do you feel that? How do you resist the
Do you
urge?
know, Bramwell, I want you to simply, how to deal with the noise from outside, first of all, kick out the noisemakers.
Yes.
Some of the guys who are pressuring you are nobody to you. Let me surprise you. Some friends, once they get married, they feel very uncomfortable with you when you're not married.
Yeah.
Because they can't figure you out. It's not sincere concern. It's envy. That you might end up going in a direction you're going, you might outshine them. You became friends in primary school, secondary school. What did you know about envy in secondary school? You became friends because you come from the same village.
Yeah.
Because you belong to the same wildlife club. Scouts. Geography. Because you went to 40 Jesus. So, brother, the biggest irritation, usually it's not from people who are permanently planted. You only have two categories of people who pressure you, by the way. Only two. Friends and colleagues at work, the people you're interacting with, and who have no permanent place in your life. They're the one who is giving them an ear.
Yeah.
Distance away from those friends. For me, many of guys who married and we no longer had similar friends, similar topics, it faded. I let it fade. But there are some who married, but they were still very happy with my journey. We'll talk about goals, ambitions. They don't pressure me. So how are you? Can I help you? Can you check out this girl? No. The other group is your relatives. And I told you those ones what you need to do. Now that you're in Nairobi and they're at home, don't go home too often. Send them M-Pesa. M-Pesa is a complete representation. Are we together? I learned that I can afford to go home once in 2 months or once in 3 months. That period of, depending on also how equipped you are. When you have a car, you can go home more frequent than if you're using public. You can manage your time more as you grow. So when I started to drive, I could pop in just like that, easily. On a Sunday, could pop in. But there before I grew, before I started my family or got means of movement, because you go there and without your coming with someone, I'm dying, I want to grant it out. Some of them, they tell you are so difficult to. If someone tells you they are dying, would you tell them just die? No problem. It's very difficult to respond. So you simply avoid. Imagine a granny who is determined that they want to bless your child before they die. They'll pressure you. And you know, granny, you have done your turn. I'm starting my turn.
Yeah.
And I want to go by my pace. You can't say that. Because in their age, a child is a graduation, it's a degree, it's a rite of passage. No, prove that you are growing normally. It's a joy to them that they are expanding. Now, don't put that pressure on me, please. If it happens in the due course, that's okay. But I will not rush or skip anything just to give you a grandchild. And you will not take the grandchild to feed them. I have to deal with them every day. My friend, how much inconvenience is that? I love you very much, but not that much. Anyway. So we're saying, with friends, let the friendship die a natural death when you're no longer flowing. Those friends who maintain maturity and they're happy with you and your growth, in fact, they're seeing how you're advancing and you're improving, they're so happy for you, keep them. But there'll be one or two. The larger group, the moment they marry, they start pressuring you.
Yeah.
If they don't seem understanding, drop them. Your journey where you're going, you meet better friends. You meet other people. Yes.
That is it. That is the reason as to why, my dear viewers, you ought to resist the urge of comparison, because You are in this classroom of life alone, and God is your teacher. Thank you for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.